Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so have you ever felt just completely overwhelmed by the pressure to figure out what you're supposed to be doing with your life? It's a universal struggle, right? Well, today we're going to look at a remarkably simple framework to uncover your life purpose. But first, I want to set the scene for you. Picture this, a warm summer evening on the beautiful historic campus of Yale University. It's the last night of a 25th college reunion. There's this huge party in a tent with music and dancing, but a group of classmates actually drifts outside so they can hear each other and catch up after 2 decades. Now, these are Ivy League graduates. They're highly educated, they hold positions of power, they are financially very well off, they've got the first house, the vacation house, they've had the first spouse, maybe the second spouse. By all outward societal metrics, they have literally won the game of life. But as the conversations unfolded that night, a really stunning pattern emerged. Here's the kicker. A massive 80% of these incredibly successful folks were actually profoundly unhappy with their lives. Let that sink in. Only 20% considered themselves truly happy, living expansively and feeling like they hadn't wasted a single minute. The unhappy 80%, well, they had chased direct, specific job paths for status or wealth. But the happy 20%, they were the theater people, the history geeks, the ones who had studied things for the pure joy of learning, not just as a stepping stone to a paycheck. The sentiment from that unhappy majority was honestly pretty heartbreaking. One attendee captured it perfectly, confessing, "I feel as though I've wasted my life and I'm halfway through it." Think about the weight of that statement coming from someone who looks like they have everything totally figured out. "I don't know what my life is all about," they said. It perfectly illustrates that dangerous widening gap between outward societal success and inward fulfillment. Because as it turns out, money and power simply do not equal a sense of purpose. Now, society makes finding meaning seem so incredibly complicated. To put this into perspective, if you hop on Amazon right now and search for books on how to discover your life purpose, you're going to find a staggering 151,928 titles. Think about that number. That's a whole lot of reading. We've basically created a massive industry out of this existential anxiety. People spend years, sometimes their entire lives, just wandering through books and expensive seminars, agonizing over this one single concept. Now, we can probably all agree that the unexamined life is not worth living. But hey, if all you're doing is examining, you're not really living, are you? Okay, let's dive into this. Instead of reading 100,000 books, we're going to look at a framework developed by Adam Leipzig that takes, no joke, less than 5 minutes. It's based directly on the traits of that happy 20% from the Yale reunion. And I want you to actually play along right now. We're going to go through 5 simple questions. You ready? Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. Who are you? Don't overthink it. This is the easiest one. You don't need a deep philosophical answer here. Just state your first name. Got it? Say it out loud right now if you want. That's it. 1 down, 4 to go. Moving right along to question 2. What do you do? Now wait, I don't necessarily mean your job title. What do you actually love to do? Do you love to write, cook, design, write code, teach? If a whole bunch of things are rushing into your head right now, I want you to focus it down by asking yourself this specific question. What is the one thing that right now you feel supremely qualified to teach other people? Lock that into your mind in just one word. Okay, question 3. Who do you do it for? I actually want you to close your eyes for a second and hold a crystal clear picture in your mind of the specific group of people you are performing this activity for or who you're teaching. Are they kids? Are they aspiring entrepreneurs? Are they people who need affordable clothing? Picture them clearly in your mind's eye. All right, now for question 4. What do those people want or need? Like, why have they come to you specifically? What do they desire that you have so that you can give it to them? I want you to really challenge yourself here to distill this down into just 1 or 2 words. Keep it super simple and hyper-focused on their direct need. And finally, we arrive at question 5. And honestly, this is arguably the absolute most crucial piece of this whole shebang. How do they change as a result? Think about the transformation. What do they actually get out of what you give them? How are their lives different or better or completely transformed because of what you just provided? So let's quickly review the complete formula. Who you are, what you do, who you do it for, what they want or need, and how they change. If you just walked through those steps with me and filled in the blanks, well, congratulations. You literally just figured out in a matter of minutes what a whole tent full of highly successful Ivy League graduates couldn't figure out in 25 years. You now have a working draft of your life purpose. Now, what's really fascinating here is why this formulation is so incredibly powerful. Have you noticed how it's divided? Out of the 5 things you need to know to find your life purpose, only the first 2, who you are and what you do, are about you. They're inward-facing. But the other 3, who you do it for, what they need, and how they change, are entirely about other people. They're outward-facing. And guys, this is the big secret. This framework physically forces your focus away from yourself and directly towards serving others.
Let's loop this back to our original story, right? Remember that happier 20% outside the tent at Yale? Well, they all shared this exact outward-facing mindset. The most successful and fulfilled people in any field, they always focus way more on the people they serve than on how they are served themselves. The core habit of that happy 20% is that they actively make it a point to make other people happy. They do things that make others feel secure and taken care of. Because life kind of teaches us that if we make other people happy, we will ultimately be taken care of too. Fulfillment is really just a byproduct of service. So now that we've got this framework down, I want to show you a super practical everyday application for it because honestly, it is an absolute lifesaver. We all face that dreaded networking question. So, what do? It happens the minute you meet someone new. And if you're between jobs or feeling a bit vulnerable, or if your job title just doesn't really capture who you are, it's a really challenging question. It usually triggers this panicked internal mental monologue, right? Like, why are they asking me? Is this just a transactional thing? Are they trying to figure out if I'm even worth talking to? Or are they just setting me up so they can brag about their own job? So here's a pretty clever social hack using our new framework. The next time someone asks you, what do? Try this simple 2-step approach. Step 1, completely skip your job title. Just don't say it. Step 2, answer by sharing only the final step of our life purpose framework. Question 5. You literally just tell them how what you do changes the people you do it for. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Let's say instead of a standard answer like, I write children's books, you give the purpose answer, I give kids awesome dreams. Or instead of saying, I design apparel, you say, I help people look and feel their best. Instead of, I train entrepreneurs, you say, I help people get great work into the world. Do you see how shifting from a flat, boring job description to a purpose-driven answer instantly injects this amazing energy and intrigue into the conversation? You know what makes this elevator pitch so incredible? It naturally, almost automatically, forces the listener to ask a follow-up question. If you look someone in the eye and tell them, I give kids awesome dreams, they literally cannot just nod and walk away. They have to ask, wait, how do you give kids great dreams? And just like that, the awkward transactional networking moment totally vanishes, and you find yourself in a genuine, deeply interesting conversation where you actually get to share your true life purpose. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today in this explainer, transitioning from the unhappiness of the outwardly successful to a really clear 5-minute roadmap for true fulfillment. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What is your new outward-facing life purpose? I'm challenging you today to solidify your answers to those 5 questions. Actually write them down. Frame them around how you change the lives of the people you serve. And the absolute next time someone asks you what you do, test out your new elevator pitch on the world. I guarantee you might just be surprised by the amazing conversations and the deep sense of purpose that follow.